You're watching Alaska's news source.
Well, it's here, the weekend, and so is the snow, especially in the interior. Look at that video from Fairbanks, experiencing up to 10 inches of snow in some areas. We've also learned heavy snow has forced the cancellation of the Christmas Parade of Lights in North Pole. We'll have a little more on that later in the program, but first, we're tracking potentially dangerous developing weather situations heading into the weekend.
That's why we've got meteorologist Aaron Morrison with the first alert on some changes ahead. Aaron, what do we need to look out for, and what exactly are you tracking?
Well, we do have strong winds, which will look likely across South Central this weekend. This will be another prolonged event that will likely last longer than 36 to 48 hours. We've got high wind watches and high wind warnings that are in effect across South Central. And as newer model trends continue to come in and we get a better focus on the system, it does look likely we're going to see winds gusting anywhere from 60 to 80 miles per hour through the Matanuska Valley, while the rest of South Central sees winds of 30 to 50 miles per hour. We've also got a first alert weather day out towards southeast. Of course, we'll have all of that in the full forecast, but there it is right there. You can see high wind watch for the Matanuska Valley extending out towards Cook Inlet or the Kinnick Arm, and then that high wind warning out towards Valdez. Even locations not up under high wind watch or warnings will see those winds gusting 30 to 50 miles per hour as we welcome in the weekend. So here's the timeline for the rest of this evening. Seward, Whittier, and Valdez. Those gap winds will continue, and then through the day tomorrow, we'll begin to see winds steadily increasing. Saturday as a whole, not going to be problematic. It's Saturday night on into Sunday and Monday where we're going to see some of the strongest winds, and those gusts could be anywhere from 60 plus miles per hour. There it is on Saturday. You can see the strongest winds in the valley in the PM hours. And then, of course, as we head into Sunday and Monday, we're also going to hold on to the potential that those winds will continue. If you're heading out this evening, winds aren't a concern, but it is chilly. Bundle up. We are expected to see even colder weather next week. I'll have more on those winds and that winter storm out towards southeast coming up.
All right. First alert. Thank you very much, Aaron Morrison. Check back in with him in a little bit. ConocoPhillips confirmed this week that between 10 and 12.5% of their North Slope employees were laid off this fall.
Tonight, to take a closer look at what this could signify about Alaska's oil and gas economy and job futures.
Well, first of all, I don't think that it comes as much of a surprise. This is a move that's fairly typical of energy companies when they see decreases in prices.
University of Alaska Anchorage economics professor Brett Watson says oil prices have remained low for the past year and continue to decline.
Many international and U.S.-based agencies anticipate further declines in oil prices over the next year, and this is the type of move that's typical for companies that work in volatile industries like oil and gas or mining to make reductions in their workforce when they see lower commodity prices.
Low prices now facing the industry are due in part to high output by OPEC and other oil producers. In terms of the impact of energy supply and demand on job futures, Watson says don't expect a future increase in oil prices to mean job numbers will also rise accordingly. What does this mean for, at least in the foreseeable future, for job security?
Well, one of the important long-term trends that I think it's important to talk about is the productivity gains that the industry has experienced. Companies are figuring out how to put more wells on a single pad, drill more wells with a single rig, and for those wells to be longer and deeper, which allows more oil production to come from a single well. All of that means that it takes fewer workers to produce the same amount of oil that it did 15 or 20 years ago.
Watson says overall, Alaska's economy has performed better than the rest of the country in the past year.
Well, the deadline to claim dogs that were left behind and evacuated from flooded western Alaska villages is coming up Monday.
The state veterinarian says around 200 dogs were initially evacuated after former Typhoon Halong. At least 20 are still unclaimed in the foster care of shelters. If pets aren't spoken for by Monday, they will be available for anyone to adopt. If you're still looking for your dog, we have contacts on our website. You can also call Anchorage Animal Care and Control.
Give that ball a squeeze and hold really tight. You can relax.
The Blood Bank of Alaska is seeing a drop in donors right now. The bank says the lower numbers are linked to the holiday season, also the weather. During the holiday season, the bank says it typically sees a 20 to 30% drop in donations. At the same time, the Blood Bank of Alaska says these donations are crucial. Hospitals are seeing an increased need or blood. Providence, Alaska Medical Center says there are generally more crashes in the wintertime, which lead to an increase in blood demand.
It definitely creates a tighter blood inventory for the blood bank because we're able to keep up with the hospitals, but we're not able to maintain fully that extra that we need to ensure that we are able to respond to the unexpected.
Well, the bank says it's in need of all blood types, but especially O positive and O negative. The donation takes about an hour and can save about 3 lives.
You're watching Alaska's news source.
It's been clear and cold outside, and that might actually be a benefit to us this weekend.
Oh, love that. Tracy Sinclair says many Alaskans have the chance to see the Geminids meteor shower, but you're going to want to make sure you dress for it.
The Geminids are considered one of the best meteor showers to view. And while they're visible from December 1st through the 21st, really they're going to peak this Saturday night into Sunday. Now, under optimal conditions, some people might be able to see up to 120 meteors per hour. I'm going to tell you right now, we probably don't have those optimal conditions. That little sliver of a crescent moon is going to be enough to block some of the viewing, but still, we could see up to 60 meteors per hour, and that's pretty amazing. The Geminids were created from the dust and rock debris that has broken free of asteroid 3200 Phaeton. That in itself is unusual because most meteor showers are created by comet debris, not from an asteroid. This meteor shower was first witnessed in the mid-1800s, but it wasn't until 1983 when they discovered the source of it. Aaron Morrison and I did a full Skywatch Alaska on this, and you can find that on our free streaming platforms. We talk about the best viewing strategies, which in Alaska includes dressing for some brutally cold temperatures, and things like why this meteor shower is special, why tiny dust particles can create such bright lights, and who the asteroid is named after. It's fascinating stuff, and you can find it by adding the Alaska's News Source app or channel to your Amazon Fire, Apple TV, or Roku devices, and then look for Skywatch. It's under the Weather tab. It's a lot of fun. Check it out. Tracy Sinclair, Alaska's News Source.
And coming up, if you are looking to the night sky this weekend, well, you could be battling some bitter cold and some strong winds. A first alert weather day across South Central and through Southeast. I'll have more on that first at sunrise for your Saturday morning. 10:07 in Anchorage, 10:50 in Bethel. Your full forecast is next.
Thanks for listening. Click subscribe so you can get the latest podcast from Alaska's News Source automatically. And stay up to date with breaking news and in-depth reporting available for free 24/7 with the Alaska's News Source app.